Welcome back to the Uprising Network. We are back. This is, we don't even have a name for this. It's just a 2018 year-end wrap-up.
Jokingly, it's Respect the Shooter. It's Respect the Shooter.
So what we're going to do is, I'm Barry, founder of the Uprising Network. I'm behind most of the things you see, if not everything you see on the Uprising Network / the uprising.tv. And have my man introduce himself.
It's me, Marcus, retired podcaster, Uprising talent.
There we go, man. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just take a few topics. I know every network or every YouTube channel is doing the same thing, but we're gonna give our own take of it. Two kids from the Michigan area that just really gets everything, because we're not really particular to East Coast, biased to East or West. We get everything where we at here in the Midwest. So first things first, I just want to talk about what are some of the moments that stood out for you in 2018?
Moments, I don't want to start low, but the low moments kind of stuck out the most, like the deaths.
Okay.
So like the Triple X death, how that happened, the Mac Miller death, how that happened, and then the other, the Youngs and the Littles that were in between. Like I said, we don't have to hang on that for too long, mm-hmm. But those are the things that was this stuff kind of happens every generation. I think our generation coming up, they were only murders. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't the overdosing. So it was just a showing of the times, and with the music that I think was kind of a moment. The other big moments, so is that we got albums from everybody. Everybody, and you really we talked off camera beforehand, but it's you had to really look back to see what dropped. Mm-hmm. And it, for the most part, everything was pretty good.
For the most part, of course, with everything, there's a few albums that was I'm there. I can't even, some albums I couldn't even get through, and then some albums I knew if I listened to, I'm not even going, I'm not even going to bother with them. For instance, a Quavo album. I was not listening to Quavo.
I didn't touch that.
I'm not listening to Quavo's album. I'm not listening to none of their solo projects.
You didn't listen to Takeoff?
Hell no.
The rapper of the
the supposed rapper of the crew? No, I did not. And after that album came out, before the week was over, nobody was talking about that shit. So, y'all hype up Migos. It's whatever. I guess it's cool as a collective, but individually, they ain't really hitting on nothing, to be honest. So
that's why the Yin Yang Twins never went solo.
You heard it first. Yin Yang Twins reference in 2018. So some of the moments that stood out for me is the first thing that came to my mind was the Drake and Pusha shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Drake and Pusha, that was bubbling for years. 7 years, and then if you want to add on Push and Wayne's little issues, I guess you could say.
The
tussle. That's a strong decade. That's a strong, going all the way back to Mr. Me Too. So
yeah,
that's a strong decade. And it finally happened, and most I guess you could say mainstream, they felt like Drake would have been whitewashed Pusha, but actually Pusha lived up to what I expected from him. From the story of Adidon, and I think that the shock value of, for one, how fast it came out, and I guess you can call it new information, because most people didn't know about Drake's kid, and and then I guess some of the outlandish lines 40 on this close to death, and he just really
pulled out all the stops. He said that was a haymaker. Was that too far?
No.
I was just checking.
Okay.
I'm seeing where you was at. I don't have.
Some people would say Drake's W Freestyle lyrically was better than Pusha T's song overall, but I still give it to Push, because it just was it was almost like a street fight. Whereas Drake was okay, we're gonna have a intense argument beforehand. But Pusha was he threw the punch first to me. And Drake fell for the bait with the infrared line on Pusha's album. He fell for the bait, which I don't know why that line kind of got him there.
I was just about to say that. I don't know why that triggered it. Only because he said way worse stuff.
Way worse stuff.
That for what it was worth, Infrared was really light.
Really light.
In comparison for everything that has happened the last 7 years.
7 years. You go back to Exodus. Like
from what we learned from the whole, like the 2 interviews that they did offline, it triggered more because of his issue with Kanye.
Right.
So he felt like it was set up, and so I think that's fact of the matter. The beef had very little to do with Push. Like everything was more towards Kanye, even in the Duppy freestyle. It was more heat towards Kanye. He put more fire on his feet. And then it was more just like a reaction to that. Like, you did that. I just was writing for you. Like, you betrayed me. How could you?
Yeah,
was
the
audacity.
So, do you believe that he had another song ready?
I don't. I think that was smoke and mirrors because it's like, it's wrestling. Like, we all know that, like, rap has become wrestling. And it was more like that boogeyman thing.
Okay.
And so he had... Jay Prince running around. Yeah. And he was like, I had to kill it. And so everybody respects Jay Prince. So he had the whole orchestra ready to, like, keep it. Like, man, he had a career-ending thing, but it was like, it was nothing that he really... I don't think it was anything he really had. Like, he like, I think naturally, like, he might have had, like, some stuff he was toying around with, but this track isn't sitting around recorded.
Yeah, I don't think it's recorded either. And then based on Push's interview on the Joe Budden podcast where he was fishing around for information for 100,000, I don't think, even if he has something else, I still don't think it would have lived up to what Story of Adidon was, because it's like you couldn't deliver something that was like maybe the same tier. You had to go a step further because Push... I feel like Push did have something else for sure.
Push had because like we said, like lyrically and like competitively, like it was strategic. Like he knew what was like Push knew what was happening with everything.
Right.
So he was 2 steps ahead of the whole situation because the track, like I said, we know it was light. That was a light. He ain't punch him in the mouth on Infrared. So he gonna take this bait because he's mad at Ye. And so, like clockwork, he took it. And then Adidon was just like, oh, I'm gonna shake your whole skeleton up.
Yeah.
And this stuff you ain't want out. Boom. So now he had to take it. He couldn't do nothing because it's like, you got to address this girl. You got to address the kid. You got to defend your whole career. And it's not even about rap no more. And so then the next round, if it was the next round, then Push It would have made the more, what do you call it? Like rap heavy song. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if. We'll never know, man.
We'll never know. We'll never know. Right now, Drake and Kanye still going back and forth.
So messy.
Which is so messy, like you said. Kanye is supposedly scared for his life. So between Drake and Push, which I feel like was definitely my favorite moment of the year. Then you had albums from everybody. Like there were way more great albums where there was albums, or it just was bad, or maybe I just overlooked a lot of the shit.
I think this year was proof that you can't make an excuse about like hip hop being bad, like because it was enough for everybody. Like, and it covered from the most mainstream to the most underground. Like, if you didn't want to see, like, you wasn't looking for it if you didn't want to hear it. Like, you just didn't like rap if this year didn't have something for you. Like, you just like, it just ain't for you.
Facts. So moving right along, what were some of your favorite, I guess you could say verses or like standout songs from the year?
Okay. So you had me working. You had me working. So the ones that pop out off top, I would say Loaded Bases off of Nipsey. Probably the best song to me of the year is Cocaine from Royce.
I agree.
My other favorite, which is like a little bit out of the hip hop realm, is the Tiana Taylor joint.
Okay.
Gonna Love Me.
That remix had to grow on me a little bit because I felt like you could have just had Ghostface and that was it. Because that's Ghostface's lane, but I've grown to appreciate it as I've seen the video. I think Raekwon verse still could have been left on the cutting floor, to be honest. But it was great though. I actually that's one of my favorite joints of the year.
I was about to bait you in, but I'm not. I was about to do it. I was, but I'm not. And so the games we play is one of my favorites of the year.
Okay.
And that's it, really. Like I like a lot of other music, but those are the ones that like I have to play every time. One of my low key songs I had to make sure came out this year that I listen to all the time was Lamborghini Truck. 2 Chainz.
2 Chainz? Okay. I agree with him on a lot of things. Cocaine for sure. That seems to be the consensus amongst like rap heads or rap nerds, you could say. That Cocaine is definitely one of the best joints of the year, if not the best song of the year. Now, for me, I really don't have many songs that really stood out that I just played over and over again. Besides Tiana's "You're Gonna Love Me," I love Mo Bamba for what it was. Like that shit is so hypnotizing to me. It had to grow on me. I don't know what the fuck he's saying in the songs, but it's like hypnotizing. Especially I heard it at Duce Palooza, and it was like a whole different vibe once I heard it at Duce Palooza.
Shout out Duce Palooza.
Shout out Duce Palooza for sure. I had a great fucking time there. What else? Songs. It's not really a lot of standout. Like I said, not really a lot of standout songs that stuck with me that I could think of off top. I try not to think too much into what we had here, because I know I probably would be rambled off about a good 20, 30 songs. But overall, just a great year. Like it was albums that stuck out to me more than actual single records that stood out to me. So
yeah, those are the ones that I didn't have to think twice about.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just being, like, genuine. Like, I didn't dig for it. I ain't had to look at my most plays or nothing like that. Like, those are the ones, like, yep.
But the standout moment, actually, now that I think about it, it's Jay's verse on What's Free. I absolutely, love... Actually, I love the whole song, but it's just the way... The moment for me is that Jay-Z is 49 years old. He's the same age as Rakim and Big Daddy Kane.
So 2 things, though. To just point this out, the reason why, because somebody was talking about it, like picking apart, because everybody's an expert and think piece writer on Twitter. It was like, he's 49, why wouldn't he be able to do it? The reason why it's impressive or we celebrate it is because LL Cool J ain't made a good song in a long time.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Like Rakim just been inactive for a long time, so it seems unprecedented, even though now. Like the 40 and us, we're killing this year. Went from Pusha, Styles P, Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody was kind of performing. But what I wanted the question I wanted to ask you though, is Ross' verse really that good?
People say that Ross wasn't talking about the same thing that Meek and Jay was, but I think his take on What's Free, I think he was talking more so about financial freedom, like, period.
So I keep listening to Ross, right? And I like Ross genuinely, like every other time.
Yeah.
People say, man, Ross went off. And I'm still looking for the off, like where he went. I can't...
In order, which is crazy, because he got the 3rd best verse on there. But the song, I think, overall, as a moment...
It was a good moment. Yeah, the moment.
It was a moment when you heard that. I didn't know what to expect hearing 49-year-old Jay-Z, even though he did come on 444, and I still enjoyed
Everything Is Love.
Everything Is Love. I enjoyed it, but at 49 years old, it's so you've never seen a rapper at this age still be able to be a performer like this. You have never seen. Like I said, he's the same age as Rakim and Big Daddy Kane, which is crazy because they were like in the era before him. They were the era before him. He's the same age as them, and you're not running to listen to a Rakim song. You're not running to listen to a LL Cool J song nowadays, even though LL is in my top 5. But you're not running and listening to these artists the same way as when Jay-Z speak, it's like, all right, what is he gonna say this time? I haven't heard a bad verse from Jay probably since that Pound Cake verse on Drake's album.
Was that before or after Magna Carta?
Probably around the same time.
Yeah, Magna Carta, I ain't like that much.
No, that's probably my least favorite Jay album.
That is.
Yeah.
100%.
100%. Magna Carta is my least favorite Jay album, and that's saying something. Like, because people always say Kingdom Come, but going back, Kingdom Come is not that bad. It's not. It's a few joints, the Usher joint, the Beyonce joint.
Those are the throwaways.
Those are the throwaways for sure. But I listened to 30 something last night, and I'm like, as a 30-year-old, I'm like, it's like all gospel that he's saying on that song. Go back and listen to 30 something as 30+-year-olds.
Yes.
Like, you gotta appreciate it. You gotta respect it. Because back then when it came out, I'm in my early 20s, and it's like, I don't really get it. But I mean, I got it. You maturing and all that, but as a 30+-year-old, it means something totally different now. Something totally different.
Those Just Blaze sequencing on them first like 4 to 5, untouched.
Mm-hmm.
From Kingdom Come to all of that, fire.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
So definitely, Kingdom Come is definitely his most slept on album for sure. But Magna Carta from both of us, that's his worst album. I don't go back and listen to that. I act like the album with R. Kelly never happened. I don't listen. Those didn't ever happen either. So, let's tell me when the last time you checked the albums out. I can't even tell you the track list on them albums. You know,
no comment, no content.
So those are definitely some standout moments. I think Jay, he's at 49 years old. It's just very impressive that he's still doing this. And I know I'm expecting, which leads into my next thing. Actually, I'm gonna wait on that topic. What's some of the albums that stood out to you for the year?
Oh man,
we said top 5, but I got probably more than 5. I got a solid 10.
It's easily can get there. Albums that stuck out. So these are the ones in order. I can go in order at the top. So I got Nipsey number 1. I got Daytona number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where I switch it up on. I'm sticking to my guns on this stuff. Fetty.
Okay.
Currency and Freddie Gibbs album was flawless. 10 tracks. Alchemist did the beats. Raps impeccable. It flowed beautiful. So that was my.
I don't like Freddie Gibbs' voice, but
I fucks with Gibbs.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So then that's my top 3 in that order.
Okay.
Then after
you ain't
that,
budging off that.
I'm not budging off that. After that, it becomes whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to keep it to the 5. Championships made that.
Okay.
And then that's when it get all like, I don't know. So I was gonna get creative. I was gonna put the 2 Wale EPs together.
Okay.
And make that an album.
Yeah, Wale on the low. Wale is rapping his ass off right now.
So I was gonna do that for my 5. Put that together. Then I got the Carters with Everything Is Love on there.
Okay.
I got J-Rock. Then I got the what's my man, Travis Scott. Then I got the first Styles P album released this year, the G-Host.
Okay. I think I may have checked it out just one time.
Yeah, it's good. It was good. And then the other random ones on there, Role Model was good by my guilty pleasure, Young Dolph.
Okay. Okay.
And the Mozzie was solid too.
Mozzie was very solid. That was my first project. First time even listening to Mozzie with that Gangland Landlord project album, whatever it's called. That I really, really fuck with Mozzie. I like the fact that he's like,
he's too real.
He's too real, and I feel like that's what the music that YG should be making right now.
Mm.
I feel like YG's first album, which is an unpopular opinion, it's kind of up in the air. I feel like his first album is a classic album.
You can call it that.
Classic album. It takes you somewhere. Same way that Good Kid, Mad City. It makes you feel like you're in a moment. It makes you feel like you're watching a movie. It takes you somewhere when you're listening to it. But his first album, My Crazy Life, is a classic to me.
Because it was the other side of Good Kid, Mad City.
For sure. It was definitely the other side. For sure. For sure. But my 5 this year, Nipsey. Undisputed. He set the bar for the year, and it surprisingly stayed there. He dropped in early January. Well,
February.
It was February.
All-Star Weekend.
February, for sure. He dropped in February, and the bar stayed there through the year. I think Push is a solid 2, but I think Meek is going. The more I listen to that championship, I know it came out at the end of the year. But the only reason I'm saying that Push might get a few knocks is there's only 7 songs on there. It's only 7 songs. I feel like if you gave me 3 more, boom.
7 songs that came out in May, though.
Okay.
And it's fast, it's a bunch of albums that came out that we forgot about.
That's a fact.
The one, I don't know, I'm going to let you finish because I think you're going to leave one out. that we
Not
might...
the Nas album.
Heck no.
Okay.
I listened to that album one time and it was terrible.
Oh my god, man! And I listened to the visual. I watched the visual, like short film with all the songs and shit. It made it a little bit better with the visuals to go to it, but I ain't running back to that. So we have Nipsey, we got Meek, we got Push. That's in my top 3. I'm not budging on them 3.
Okay.
And damn, I had my 5. Oh, Royce. Royce is in there. He's 4. And 5 is the new artist on TDE, Reason. That's the old name I used to go by. People say that I'm biased based on the name, but no, he dropped a great fucking project. He solid too. He dropped a great fucking project. And honestly, he said that the album is like a year old, but after he signed with TDE, he refurbished it a little bit, but it's a great fucking project. I really look forward to him. TDE is like the brand you can trust right now. It's a few artists that's kind of shaky. I don't know if Isaiah Rashad is still there.
He is, but he working.
EJV level. He like Waterboy level on
but
TDE.
You know, some of them take some time though, because until J Rock got this album, people wasn't thinking about J Rock. So,
and I believe Schoolboy Q is up next.
Yep.
And Kendrick said he ain't working on an album, but he's working, which to me
he's working.
Leads me to believe he's working on helping with Schoolboy Q's album and for sure Ab-Soul's project, because Ab-Soul can't sell an album to sell his fucking life. He can rap his ass off, but he cannot sell a fucking album. And I feel like J-Rock had the help with Kendrick on that Redemption album. I feel like Kendrick's fingerprints is all over that album, along with the Black Panther soundtrack. It's nominated for a Grammy, and I don't even think I heard that album, to be honest.
I listened to it like twice. It was a couple. I mean, it was a bunch of stuff played on the radio.
Okay.
And then I think like J Rock was on something, so it was kind of like the lead up for J Rock's to come out.
Yeah, but Kendrick is definitely working with Schoolboy and Ab-Soul, because Ab-Soul can't like poor Ab-Soul. Like, I know he's looking like, yo, I want to sell some records too. I want to, you know, nobody's checking the Ab-Soul tour. Like, who's doing that? He's doing like. Anyway, all right, we off of that. So that's some of my best projects. Some honorable mentions. I gotta say, City Girls period album.
Okay. I
gotta respect it for what it is. It's definitely, they don't make music for me, but I can appreciate what they do. Like, it's like Trina's version in 2020 of when The Baddest Bitch came out. I remember like in the late 90s or whenever I was in middle school, whatever, and the girls were listening to that. I'm like, she rapping. She's like technically rapping. But it just wasn't for me. But as an adult now, I can totally appreciate what JT and Young Miami bring. Young Miami isn't the smartest, but JT is definitely leading that charge. And I watched a documentary on. It was like they had put a documentary out on both of them that was leading up to
this new one.
No, that was leading up to JT getting locked up.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, it was leading up to that. Like right when In My Feelings came out, she got locked up the day Drake's album came out. So, and we didn't even mention Drake shit.
I know. I was waiting to see if he was going to do it.
Oh, that's the album you was leaving out? That's all I was leaving out? Okay, but City Girls, I love Cardi's album as well. It was in my top 5 most of the year. I like it for what it is. It's a fun album. She rapping on that motherfucker, man. Cardi is so improved. I remember listening to her mixtapes and like, this ain't really hitting on nothing, but now, whether it's writers, but you can have writers, but she's performing the fuck out of it. Like, her diction is great on it, like the punchlines, and she makes it believable. Some artists had ghostwriters, like Puff, for example. He has ghostwriters, but the way he deliver it, you know somebody's writing the shit. You know it. Dre, same way. You know somebody's writing it. I was watching the Upper Smoke tour the other day, and I really analyzed, like, Forgot About Dre, and clearly, of course, Eminem wrote Dre shit.
Yeah.
The way he's like. The way his flow, whatever, and then of course Jay-Z wrote Still DRE, which is amazing to me. Like how Jay took him East Coast New York rapper, put himself in Dr. Dre's shoes, and wrote the hook as well for Snoop, and that was like Volume 3 Jay-Z at the time too, which
still a banger.
Still a banger. That shit's still a banger.
Still.
But that's pretty much it. City Girls, Cardi, Mozzie, and a few other projects.
Did you listen to the Bass album?
Who?
Bass, Dreamville.
Oh no, I never got to that album this year, and that got recommended to me a few times. I never got a chance to listen to it.
He got a good Cake song in there. If you got like a girl you love,
okay,
it's the one with J. Cole.
Okay.
It's a good cake song. You like, I love you. You know, you just
It's like
play
called
it.
Milkshake or Milk or something like that.
I'm
It's
a
some
bad
off the wall
fan.
name. Okay.
Yeah, it's legit. It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. Okay.
It's a vibe.
I did see the video for that though.
You hug your girl, hold her in.
Oh shit. Woo! All right. We got the spirit hanging in the spirit of Wu-Tang.
It is your fault.
Man, my fucking poster just fell, scared the shit out of both of us. But we gonna keep this going. I am not cutting that out.
It's because you was talking about meth.
Oh man, I did. No, damn, that's a delayed reaction too. So on to we got our favorite. Talking about our favorite albums, some favorite standout songs and verses. Yeah. We talk about some of the favorite moments of the year. Before we go into 2019, is there anything else that you really want to?
No, I was good with this year. Man.
Okay, so it's a great year overall. We want to see an improvement. The streaming thing, which I was kind of shaky on that because I like the physical, like the act of going to buy physical albums. And I can't even remember the last time I bought an album.
The last album I bought was 444.
Okay, I did buy that. I
bought that when
it was a digital copy though, but I did buy it.
I bought the CD. You know what I'm saying? Don't judge me. I still had a CD player in the car, so I bought that because they hadn't put the bonus tracks out.
Oh, okay.
So it was like three extra tracks on there. So I went and bought that. It was a basic CD.
The last one I bought, actually, and I think about it, was Dark Sky Paradise.
I had bought that too.
That's the last one I bought.
I had bought that. I bought Push It that year too.
I definitely bought that album. Other than that, it's been almost a handful of years since I bought a physical copy of an album. I bought some of the homies or whatever. If they drop a vinyl or something, I buy their projects, but they're still in the wrapper. I haven't even played them, but I buy them to support them. But mainstream artists, I haven't.
They killing it, man.
They killing it.
It ain't much. You can't go nowhere really.
Okay.
Target like the last on the last leg of CDs.
Yeah, that's crazy. I used to work at a Target, and it's crazy that people used to come in. If the feeling people come in and like, yo, you got that new da 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 da. But like, nah, man, we all sold out. Like, damn, man, I can't even. I went to 2 Targets already, and it's sold out. Like, when y'all getting some more in? Like, you never gonna hear that no more. You never gonna hear that again. Those were some great fucking times. I remember when Blueprint came out, and I wanted that shit so bad. It was on September 11th. That shit was still sold out on September 11th.
Good day. We skipped school.
Man.
Went to the Best Buy. The towers had fill and everything. Yeah. But it wasn't like real. You know what I'm saying?
To us, it wasn't real for sure.
It wasn't as big of a crisis as it turned out to be. Like, man, let's pull up. We got in the car, we went, got that ghetto fab, went back to school.
Oh, yeah, definitely got that fab at the same time. Only time I actually took a day off, I was working by this time. I had my job. I was working at City at the time. I took off to buy Kanye's College Dropout album.
Check it out.
I took that day off and I blasted that album. I had some speakers like this tall in my bedroom. I'm still living with my parents. So I had speakers like this tall in my bedroom, and I was just nobody was home, so I was just knocking that album all day, back to back, all fucking day. Great fucking times, man. Our kids not even gonna understand that no more. Like, they not even gonna see that shit, man. 2019, I'm looking for a Ross album, looking for a Sean album. I'm still, of course, looking for a Jay album. I'm so biased to Jay. You never know. You never know.
He really retired after 444 was the retirement album.
I don't think so.
It was like the book. It was the last chapter of the book.
It was.
And so it was like the Everything Is Love album was just like, babe, come in the studio. Yeah. It was really like his wife dragged him in there. Yeah. And I think we're going to get verses from him.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So I think we will get verses from him next year. Because I think J. Cole going to come right back. And I think J. Cole is finally going to give us the album that we need. Because he doesn't have an album classic yet.
Okay.
And
he feels like Forest Hills Drive is not a classic album.
It's his best.
It's his best album. But I think Born Sinner might be his best album.
No, you're right. Born Sinner is my favorite. Because that's when he kind of was like, it was more of him breaking his sound up.
Yeah.
So I like Born Center the best. But me, and I will always fight the fight. Like Cole needs somebody to produce him.
Good. Born Center had multiple producers on it. Whereas Forest Hill Drives, there's a couple others on Forest Hill Drive, but then For Your Eyes Only was all him, which I think that's his worst album. For Your Eyes Only.
It was a toss out.
That was like a neo soul album. I don't know what the fuck that was. And then KOD, which I need to revisit. I got a flight to catch in a few days, so I'm probably gonna revisit that on the plane.
I think
check that out.
I think he will get produced,
and
so all he has to do is rap. Cause I want him to take the blueprint from Crit, because Crit was a person who was doing everything.
Yeah.
But when Crit said, "I'm gonna step back and I'm gonna just let somebody else do it," then his stuff elevated. So I think we're gonna get the not Crit. I'm sorry. We're gonna get a J. Cole produced album.
Okay.
He's gonna get the verse from Jay.
He needs the verse.
He's gonna get the verse.
He needs that verse, not that Mr. Nice Watch shit. Not that.
I'm looking for the 2 Chainz album. Rapper Go to the League,
okay.
And I think he's gonna get a J verse too. And
I want to see what Nipsey follow up with.
It ain't gonna be quick.
Because he is still milking Victory Lap. He's still dropping videos and all that.
Yeah, it ain't gonna be quick.
I want to see what Nipsey follow up with. Cole's supposed to drop a tape this year too. He said it's called like Overtime or something when he had dropped that off of that Uchi Wally shit. He he said he was dropping a tape and he was like looking for beats and shit like that. I don't know if that. And then JID said like Dreamville needs to go on a run like TDE because they kicking their ass, but Cole don't have the sign like the artist like TDE has. To be honest, I'm not really fucking with JID like that.
I like the other one.
I like Kaz though. I fuck with Kaz.
I like Bass. I like JID, but I didn't get into the DiCaprio 2 as much as I did his last tape.
Okay.
His last tape I was rocking with heavy, but the most recent one I ain't really. I tried, but it wasn't like catching like that.
Okay. I haven't even.
I like JID though. My favorite Dreamville signee is Ari Lennox though.
Okay, I like her.
She got that jam that she dropped, whipped cream. Jam.
Okay.
Total bop. Total bop as the timeline would say.
Outside of music, man, I want to see people like visually, like raise the bar like with music videos. As far as podcasts, let's move on from like interviews are cool, but let's see it done like a different way. Like I want to see. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm looking for. I just want to see something a little bit different. And like when artists going on press runs, everybody don't need to have the same artist on for that week.
If they do, I think you can do it, but you gotta what they're doing as the person. Like I had a whole interview show. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like what it is. And so, like, I think, like, Rap Radar does a good job of breaking up that monotony of, like, yeah, what you doing here?
Yeah.
Cool, you want me to talk about your girlfriend this time? Or what you
and they don't really do the press run thing either. Like, when they interviewed Will Smith this year. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was dope.
I enjoyed the Will Smith interview.
But they break it up a lot.
They break it up,
like, with, you know what I'm saying? Like, between, like, Hot 97 and Breakfast Club, you're going to get the same thing. Unless they really rock with the person, and then you'll get like more of a personal interview, versus the like, yeah, by my album, this one I'm dating, and yeah, all this weak shit.
So also 2019, I definitely this is not gonna be the last you see of the two of us doing something together. I think we both realize we need to have something on a consistent basis. It ain't got to be every week. It could be once or twice a month, but consistently we need to talk about like the culture in its whole on the Uprising Network for real. I haven't had like real rap conversations since. I mean, I had a podcast, but that wasn't that because it was. Shout out to the people I did do the pod with, but it wasn't what I was necessarily looking for. But like real rap conversations since like high school, like.
Real rap nerd stuff.
Real rap nerd shit. So he a rap nerd just like I am. We come from the same era.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the what's name? The Wu-Tang.
Oh, all right. So little bonus little topic. Like when Tiana initially dropped the "You Gonna Love Me" remix, it dawned on me that Method Man is like the most overrated member of Wu-Tang. And someone broke it down for me and said that he's the most digestible out of all of them. He has a image that ladies love. Mm-hmm. He hasn't really like over the top with like lyrically. He's not like over the like Ghost sometime will take you somewhere, or you got or Expect the Deck to take you somewhere. I fuck with you guys though. They'll take you somewhere, but I had to think about it real quick. I thought about it like Meth is definitely the most overrated. People always have him like Ghost, Ray, Meth, like boom, them three. That's the trifecta. They even did an album together. But as I thought about it, I'm gonna go into it a little bit. I think Ghost is 1. I think Ray is 2. Mm-hmm. I think Expect the Deck is 3. I think
Jizzle is my man.
Jizzle is 4. So automatically, you midway through the Wu already. You midway there.
God bless the dead. ODB.
ODB. See, I was hesitating on saying that. I'm glad you said that. ODB 5. So now you got 6. I'll put him over you, God. I'll give him over Capadonna, which Capadonna ain't really in the group, but he in the group because they always said Wu-Tang featuring Capadonna on every album. I don't know.
Ice Cream was a banger.
Yeah, Ice Cream was definitely a banger for sure. I don't know why they always said featuring Capadonna when I know he going on tour with them. He on every Wu album. He with all the photo shoots, all in the videos, dancing. Everywhere.
He just didn't sign the contract. That's what it was. He didn't sign. He wasn't messing with RZA like that, probably.
But he on every album.
But he messed with him.
Even the offshoot albums. It's solo albums. He's on the albums.
I think he might have just been a nigga who was there. You know what I'm saying? Like he like, hey, let me get one. Let me get on that. Let me get one on that. And they like, bed is open. Yeah. And so don't get us wrong. You know what I'm saying? Even though Meth got mad, he jumped off the wall. Yeah. We messed with Meth. But, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, do we really mess with Meth?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I remember listening to Cal, which people feel like his best album. I didn't really love it. I ain't love it then. I don't love it now as an adult.
He had a couple tracks.
It's literally a couple, and it's probably the singles.
We let Meth get off for like 20-some years.
Yeah. And they all legends. They're legendary for sure. But Meth is definitely in the lower tiered lyrically of the group.
And Meth is better with Red than he is with Wu.
There we go. That's a fact.
Just to give him some love.
There you go.
Just say I think he was totally hating.
For sure. He's better with Red than he is with the rest of the Wu-Tang. Yeah. But it's because he's easily the most digestible of the group. Easily. I was like, damn, that does make a lot of fucking sense. So there you have it. So, this is good, man.
My man.
This was fun, man.
How can they support the network? Dude?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Support the network. Visit the Uprising.tv. It's not only I guess you call it the name of the site, but it is the actual website. You can type in .tv after the Uprising, and it'll take you straight to the YouTube channel.
Boom.
Straight to the YouTube channel.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's so much more coming out, man. There's scripted series coming out. There's a game show coming out. Who knows? Marcus might have his own show on the network coming out. I still got Tuesday coming back. I'm setting up that's where I got the posters and shit. So I'm putting the TV down here. I'm making this shit feel like motherfucking Rap City in 2018. So Tuesday is coming back. Ladies Love Lyrics. I still got episodes on deck that ain't even came out yet. I got some shit with my son coming out that ain't even came out yet. It's just so much. So continue visiting the Uprising.tv, support the network, and create responsibly.
Plug the YouTube too. Not YouTube. Instagram. I'm tripping.
Instagram. Actually, I think Instagram is the Uprising.tv as well. I believe that is it.
So follow, subscribe, comment.
Support, comment. Please comment. Look, I had somebody comment on a YouTube video. It was like an older video as well. And it was like, man, the sound quality sucks. And I was like, that was the first time I actually got some criticism on any of my videos. And I was like, thank you. Like, they give me something to work with. All right, so boom, now I got to upgrade my audio equipment. Thank you. Leave comments. You ain't got to be assholes, because I could be an asshole, too.
We ain't here for that. All
good
here vibes.
For that. All good vibes, please. Come on, man. Show us some love, man. Support the Uprising Network, because essentially, Marcus ain't from Detroit, even though... How long you been here?
I'm a transplant Detroiter.
He's a transplant Detroiter now. The Uprising Network is exactly what Detroit looks like.
Yeah.
It's being gentrified right now, and the Uprising Network is still trying to hold on. Not even trying. We're actually doing it. It's we're trying to uplift with Detroit, the actual people of Detroit, not the people that's coming from out here and claiming they Detroiters. No, the people from Detroit is all involved with the network. So continue to support us. Thank you.
All right, man.
Where can they find you?
What am
You ain't
I?
are you putting your social media out there?
You can. It was underscore Marcus Summerall on everything. I'm trying to win uniform.
Okay.
So underscore Marcus Summerall on Twitter is where I hang out the most.
Yeah.
Underscore Marcus Summerall on Instagram. The website is marcussummerall.com. Check out the sneaker newsletter, all that good stuff. And that's all I got, man.
Yeah. Thank you.